Most people arrive in Gulf Shores thinking the hard part is picking a beach chair. Then they lose half a day to parking confusion, surf flag mistakes, and weather that flips plans in an hour. Alabama's beaches stretch across 32 miles of sugar white sand, and that scale is exactly why first-time trips can feel messy without a smart plan. What if your best swim window disappears by lunch? Or your easy ferry add-on turns into a long wait? Over the next 4 days, you're going to solve those friction points before they happen, keep every day distinct, and still hit the best parts of Gulf Shores without burning energy on avoidable mistakes. Day 1. Easy arrival, quick bearings, and a sunset you actually reach. Start in the main public beach area at Gulf Place. Before you touch the sand, handle parking the smart way. In Gulf Shores, paid beach parking runs from March 1st through November 30th, and paid hours run from 7 a.m. to 2 a.m. At Gulf Place, the city rate is $5 for 4 hours or $15 all day. Here is the decision rule that saves people from annoying reopens in the app. If your plan includes beach time, a meal, and sunset, pick all day. If you are doing a short orientation stop and leaving the area quickly, take the shorter session and move on. Now do the 10-minute move most visitors skip. Read the surf flag board and treat it like a live safety briefing. Green means calmer conditions. Yellow means moderate surf and higher caution. Red means high hazard, and double red means the water is closed. In Gulf Shores, entering the Gulf under double red is prohibited. First-time visitors always ask the same thing when they see double red. Did the day just die? No. Swim plans are off. Beach plans are not. You can still walk, photograph the breakers, collect a slower morning, and shift your water block to another day. Before any swim window, check same-day water status on the city system or read the posted site signage at your access point. Green means acceptable water quality. Yellow means the latest sample exceeded the EPA threshold and gets immediate retesting. If a location flips to red after retest, do dry sand time and town activities instead of forcing a swim. Water can look perfect and still be a bad call for that hour. The whole point is using real-time information, not guesswork. Once logistics are sorted, keep movement easy and local. Walk the shoreline and use this first block to learn how this stretch of beach behaves at different times. Notice where families cluster, where parking turns over fastest, and where beach setups get dense. That small awareness pays off when you need sharper timing on later days. For lunch, keep it close at the hangout so your arrival day is not spent driving. Go around 11:15 or after 1:30 to avoid the busiest table window. Keep lunch simple, hydrate well, and get back outside. Day 1 lunch should refuel you, not drain your afternoon. After lunch, slide into Wade Ward Nature Park for a calmer contrast. It's a short move from the beach zone, but feels different enough to reset the brain, with marsh views and quieter paths. This is where many people realize a useful Gulf Shores truth. The best days here are rarely non-stop high intensity. They're built by alternating effort with recovery pockets. Late afternoon gives you your first real choice. Should you hold your beach area through sunset or leave and come back later? On busier days, staying put usually wins because reparking can steal your golden hour. If weather pops and storm cells move in, pivot without panic. Take an early dinner, stay flexible, and bank your sunset payoff for tomorrow if needed. That adjustment matters even more in Atlantic hurricane season, which runs June 1st to November 30th. For dinner tonight, keep it comfortable at Picnic Beach. Early evening timing usually gives you smoother service and a quieter close to the day. You are aiming for a clean finish and real sleep, not a late drag. End day 1 back at Gulf Place for sunset. Put your phone down for a few minutes and watch how fast the beach mood changes when light drops. The crowds thin, temperatures ease, and tomorrow starts to feel simple. That is the day 1 win. You did not chase everything. You removed the problems that usually cost people prime time. Day 2. Big nature movement with a strong morning start. Start early at Gulf State Park while temperatures are still manageable. This is one of the strongest non-beach assets on the coast. Local destination guidance highlights the Hugh S. Branyon Backcountry Trail system as 28-plus miles across 6,150 acres. And official park trail info describes roughly 29 miles of paved trail and boardwalk, which is huge for a beach destination.
What is the right intensity this morning?
Easy cruise or full push? Let humidity decide, not ego. For most travelers, a 60 to 90-minute bike or fast walk block gives enough effort without burning the rest of the day. Start around Lake Shelby side segments for shade and water views, then pick one connector with a different feel so the morning does not blur into one long straight stretch.
One thing that helps retention and energy is purposeful contrast.
Yesterday was orientation and low friction winds. Today is controlled movement and ecosystem variety. You are trading crowded sand for trees, boardwalks, wildlife sightings, and better pace control. A common myth says every hour away from the beach is lost value. Not here. This park system is part of why Gulf Shores works for multi-day trips. You can stack activity, scenery, and breathing room without ever leaving your base area. For lunch, stay inside the day shape and eat at Woodside Restaurant in the park zone. Going off-route costs too much time on a nature-heavy day. If you started at sunrise, eat early. If you started later, aim around 1:30 and avoid the noon spike.
After lunch, run a simple fourth.
If skies are stable, add a lighter trail segment and keep the momentum going. If heat index jumps or storms build, shift to a shorter educational block near the nature center and shaded stops. You still get value without forcing miles. Now ask the practical consequence question that saves a lot of frustration. What happens if rain starts right at your best outdoor window? The fix is nearby pivots, not frantic driving. Keep your alternates mapped close to where you already are. Use covered brakes and restart once cells pass. You preserve energy and avoid that familiar vacation spiral where one weather hit wrecks the entire day. Late afternoon can finish with time at the Gulf State Park Pier for views and an easier cool down. No pressure to chase a dramatic moment. Let the day taper instead of squeezing in one more hard activity just because there's daylight left. Dinner should feel earned, but not heavy on logistics. Jesse's on the Bay in Orange Beach works well if you reserve ahead, especially on weekends. If you prefer to stay closer to Gulf Shores, pick a seafood stop on your direct route back and go early enough to avoid a long queue. Before sleep, do one 2-minute task that makes day 3 better. Check tomorrow's weather and marine outlook now, not in the car tomorrow morning. Day 3 includes longer coastal movement and an optional ferry decision, and those calls are easier when you make them with calm, not pressure. Day 2 succeeds because it has a different shape and a different energy signature from day 1. That keeps your trip fresh and keeps your body from crashing by the halfway mark. Day 3, Fort Morgan history, Wild Coast contrast, and optional ferry logic. Start at Secour National Wildlife Refuge in the morning while the air is cooler and the trails are quieter. Secour covers about 7,000 acres of coastal habitat and protects one of the last major undisturbed barrier systems in this part of Alabama. You will feel the shift immediately. Less city noise, more wind and birds, and a much rawer coastal texture than the built-up stretches closer to town. Is it worth doing this if you already did park trails yesterday? Yes, because the visual language is different. Day 2 was movement infrastructure and mixed park ecosystems. Day 3 morning is open habitat, fewer structures, and a calmer sensory profile. Give it real time and do not rush through it like a checklist stop. From the refuge side, continue west toward Fort Morgan. Local destination guidance places it about 20 miles from central Gulf Shores, and seasonal traffic can stretch that drive, so build buffer. Current local visitor info lists Fort Morgan admission at $8 for adults and $5 for children, seniors, and college students, with museum hours generally 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and site hours to 5 p.m. Plan your departure from Secour so you are not arriving rushed. At the fort, slow down. Walk the batteries, interior corridors, and open edges in sequence instead of zigzagging. You will get more from the place if you let history and geography connect in order. 1 minute you're inside heavy masonry and old defense geometry, 10 minutes later you're looking over open water and calm shoreline. That tension is what makes this day memorable.
Now the major decision point.
Add the mobile Bay Ferry or keep the day fully on the Fort Morgan side. If conditions are good and your timing is flexible, ferry is a great add-on. If your schedule is tight or weather looks unstable, skip it and keep your day coherent.
Why this caution?
Because ferry operations are practical, not fantasy. The operator runs first come, first serve with in-person ticket sales only and no online advance purchase. Service runs year-round, weather permitting, and schedules can change for weather or maintenance. So do not build day 3 around a guaranteed departure that does not exist. Build day 3 so it already works before ferry enters the picture. If you ride, posted passenger fare is $6. Treat that crossing as a bonus layer, not the core of your day. If lines are long, nothing breaks. You already got refuge plus Fort Contrast. Lunch should stay close to your route. Sassy Bass Cookout is a practical peninsula stop that keeps detour time small. If weights are high, choose a nearby coastal cafe on your return direction and keep momentum. Do not burn your whole afternoon chasing one table. Day 3 weather pivot needs to be explicit because this is your longest transfer day. If storms build early, shorten refuge time and prioritize Fort Morgan first. If afternoon weather worsens, cancel ferry logic immediately and head back toward Gulf Shores before rain and traffic pile up together. On the drive back, resist adding random extra stops just because there's time left on paper. Day 3 can be magical or exhausting depending on restraint. Protect tomorrow. For dinner, reset with a comfortable table at the Royal Oyster back in Gulf Shores. Weekend reservation is smart. Keep the night calm and let the contrast day land.
What did today prove?
Gulf Shores is not only a beach stop. You just moved through protected habitat, major military history, and working coastal transport logic in one day without forcing it. That range is why this destination stays interesting past the first visit. Day 4. Flexible final day with family-friendly options and smooth departure. Logic. Final days fail when people pretend they still have Day 2 energy. Day 4 should be modular on purpose, so it can absorb real-life factors like checkout timing, weather shifts, and lower stamina. If your group wants activity and conditions are decent, start at Alabama Gulf Coast Zoo right when it opens. Current posted hours are 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. with last guest at 3:30, and adult admission is $23.95. Early entry avoids midday heat and keeps your final day from feeling rushed. If energy is lower or rain risk is higher, invert the plan and start around the wharf area in Orange Beach with light indoor time. Then decide whether zoo still fits after lunch. The goal today is not rigid sequencing. The goal is a day that still works if forecast changes at noon. Here is a useful hidden benefit question. Why use attraction windows and short transfers on departure day instead of squeezing one more big beach mission? Because final days are logistics heavy. You're packing, checking out, handling transport timing, and managing different energy levels in one group. Predictable entry windows reduce stress and reduce missed departures. For lunch, keep it efficient at Villaggio Grill at the Wharf, or a nearby sit-down option that does not pull you far off route. If you started at the zoo, eat a little early. If you started in Orange Beach, eat a little later. Either way, avoid peak midday waits so food supports pace instead of breaking it. After lunch, choose one short closing block and protect your buffer. Option 1 is a gentle walk at Orange Beach Waterfront Park. Option 2 is a light shopping and snack pass through the wharf. Both keep effort low and flexibility high. If someone in your group pushes for one final beach stop, use the same safety sequence you used on day 1 before anyone enters water. Check flags, check same-day water quality status, then decide. Smart habits still matter on the last afternoon.
Now the departure mechanics.
Pack sandy items in one separate bag, keep a dry change ready, and set a hard leave time with fuel and snack buffer included. If checkout is early and departure is late, this modular shape still works because each block can stand alone. Morning only works. Afternoon only works. Both together work.
Weather pivot on day 4 is simple and calm.
If rain settles in, keep indoor blocks near the wharf and skip open weather commitments. If skies clear late, add a short waterfront walk and stop there. You do not need a heroic finale to end well. Final dinner should be close to where you're sleeping, not across town. Cobalt is a solid option on the Orange Beach side if that matches your route. If not, choose any reliable table within a short drive and reserve ahead. A smooth last meal beats one more long queue. By the end of day 4, you should feel the result of this plan. You did more by forcing less. You handled parking, surf safety, water quality, weather uncertainty, and ferry constraints before they turned into problems. You got beach time, movement, history, and family-friendly flexibility without the usual final day crash. Gulf Shores rewards people who treat timing and safety as part of the fun, not as boring extras. This 4-day structure gives you distinct day shapes, practical pivots, and solutions for the biggest visitor pain points before they eat your trip. You now have a plan for paid parking choices, surf flag decisions, same-day water checks, storm season adjustments, and ferry uncertainty. All built into the flow instead of added last minute. Follow it, and each day feels different, useful, and easy to read aloud on the move. Which day are you most excited to run first? The movement day? The history contrast day? Or the flexible final day setup?